Hello. Okay, I think we're recording. I think sounds good. This one is all about let's cancel the scions of slavery. And let's just jump right into it. Let's cancel, as in everybody knows what that means. There's a whole culture around it. And let's just cancel all of these guys. Harvard, Yale, Princeton, the whole Ivy League. Most of the universities from Louisiana through the southeast, up the eastern seaboard into New England. All of them are the result of the money of slavery and the money produced, the wealth produced by slavery and cotton and all of these other agricultural commodities where the people made money off of the actual backs of the slaves, the labor. And then there's the slave dealers in the North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama. We know about Alabama. And so all of the universities in all of those states, they need to be canceled. All of the colleges need to be canceled. These include the colleges in England, Oxford, Cambridge, anything associated with Cecil Rhodes. Okay, Cecil Rhodes he was Rhodesia. He was like the ultimate, the pinnacle of slavers. He had a whole country that was his slave. Anybody associated with the Nobel Prize? First, it's all usually crap science because it's a nominated thing and it's a popularity contest, and they give out money that came from blowing people up, and the money that they got from blowing people up, Nobel, dynamite, all of that, he made that money because of money from slavery. That's what funded the whole operation. So anybody with Nobel Prizes, all of these people, including the Queen, Queenie and Chucky, Chucky who's supposedly going to be the next king, right? All of those people, they made their money off of slavery of empire. And okay, so Cecil Rhodes had a whole country. The Queen claims 1/6 of the entire planet and 1/3 of all the people as basically her slaves. Or excuse me, it's 1/3 geographically and 1/6 of all the people. Her empire was giantly huge. And what does it mean when you're a subject? It means you're a slave with a few rights, or a few options, not rights. But so we got to cancel all of royalty. We got to cancel all of the Ivy League. We need to cancel fraternities, right? Why? Well, fraternities, the whole fraternity system was designed to shelter the sons of slave owners and to provide them the life to which they'd been accustomed. In a lot of these colleges way back in the day, like right after they were first established, there were basically there weren't dormitories. It didn't work that way. There was no campus housing, anything like that. It wasn't structured under those sorts of things. And so fraternities arose as actually in one side of it is that fraternities arose as a way around some of the liberal rules within colleges that forbade students from bringing servants. Okay, they couldn't bring their slaves with them. So because the colleges had this idea that was prevalent at the time, and this would have been in the 1800s and into the early 1900s, of the manly man who was able to go on out and do all of his own stuff, right? He didn't need his servant with him. And it was okay to have servants and so on, but there was an attempt by the cultural leaders of the day to impose an ethos of self-reliance on the students that one did not usually find in the sons of slave owners. And so what they did was to say, if you're going to come and study here, you can't bring your slaves. And at some point, the fathers objected, and so they bought houses for them off the campus, out of the jurisdictional area of the college. And so we have the whole idea of off-campus housing, fraternities, etc. And this was where these guys could come and have their slaves and have servants. So it'd be like at home. And of course, sororities were just to provide women for them. I mean, that was the way the whole thing was set up. So anybody that comes and says we ought to cancel, especially like Yale and Princeton, I mean, these two things were plush with slave owner money, right? That's how they got started. The whole Ivy League is that way. So if you want to cancel shit, let's cancel academia. Let's cancel these universities, especially since they're not teaching people accurate science. They're not producing any accurate science. They're stealing, they're corrupt. The grant system is totally fucked over. It's all popularity and nepotism and old boy crony network. And you're never going to get rid of any of the systemic racism at its core, which is where the money is as to who gets grants. Okay? And so, the whole system is fucked. And all of these guys, if now's the time, if you ever want to cancel anything and have a cultural revolution, get rid of these fuckers because they're the ones that designed the culture you're opposing. Even though you think you came out of them, they support, they create, they were funded by that entire slave system. If you want to say who is the man in the United States, who is the man in Western society, you'll find him lurking here, right? This is where the man lives. He's in here. He's trying to, this is where it's odd because it's producing the people that are attacking it. But it's at this point of massive corruption where we're not getting good science out of it. These are the people that made the fucking virus that is actually out there destroying the economies and killing people. These fuckers created it.